One, what's good? Toko in the chat. This video I'm going to talk about my experience working a warehouse job. I can take this off now. Now you guys would know I used to work a warehouse job probably 12 months ago, and fast forward 12 months later I've been able to leave my job, been able to provide for my family, I've been able to travel the world, been able to do all these things, right? But what I want to talk about today is my experience actually working a warehouse job and why I actually made a change, and why the whole reason behind me wanting to help other warehouse workers, other Polynesians as well, is to show you that there's another way, right? There's another purpose out there in life for you, and it doesn't have to be working in a warehouse job. Now there's some of you who enjoy that job, and that's completely fine, right? But there's other people who don't enjoy that job, right? And yeah, I do understand that in order for the world to work, we do need people working jobs in a sense. But then there's also that 1% of people who technically or most likely just don't enjoy their job, like myself, right? That percentage of people is always going to be less than a majority of people who actually enjoy their job. And everyone always talks about, oh, what if you take away all the warehouse workers working a job, there won't be anything to make the world live, in a sense. It's like, not everyone hates their job, which is completely fine at the end of the day, right? But the ones that do want to make a change out of their warehouse job, there is a pathway for you. And I explain all over my YouTube how to do it with different ways, learning high income skills, with remote closing, appointment setting, and all those ways, right, is how way you can do it outside of working a warehouse job. Because once again, you're getting paid by the hour, you're not getting paid by the value you provide in the world, right? Because whenever you work a warehouse job, or whenever you work a job in general, you're either getting paid by the hour and not for the value you provide. Doesn't matter how much work you put in, doesn't matter how much pallets you put out, doesn't matter how much effort you put into the business, into the warehouse itself, you're still getting paid by the hour, right? So what I want to talk about is pretty much my experience working a warehouse job, what I enjoyed, what I didn't like, and all those sort of things, right? So for me, I started literally the day after I started working a warehouse job, literally the day after I graduated. So I graduated, and then the next day, let me get it up for you guys. Yeah, so I graduated on the 19th of November, and my first day at work was the 20th of November 2022. So the day I literally graduated from high school, I had a warehouse job lined up for me, and I started working at Universal Store warehouse, and I was doing loading containers, unloading containers, and that was, anyone that loads containers, anyone that unloads containers knows how much, especially in 30-degree heat, and then you enter the containers and it's 100-degree heat. So even looking at that side of things, it wasn't good. It wasn't fun at all. But what I learned from it is, like, when you surround yourself with people, good people at your work site, it's going to be a good day regardless. So I got a job from my brother. My brother was doing pickpacking, I was loading and unloading containers, but I had a good crew around me. I enjoyed going to work because I had good people to talk to every day. We could listen to music, so I think that was the most fun part. The only thing that wasn't fun was obviously the 100-degree heats in the containers, and then unloading and loading containers all day was my first week at a warehouse job. And then things started to die down a little bit, started to learn a more admin side of things, got into admin, and got into pickpacking as well. Pickpacking was alright, it's pretty easy, you stay switched on, but it gets pretty boring when it's just you all day, in a sense. That was me for my pretty much 2-3 months. I had a good crew, so I enjoyed doing it. Then we got let go from the job because they didn't need us anymore. It was during Christmas peak hour, peak time, and they needed a couple more workers, in a sense, but they only kept the full-time people, and us casuals ended up leaving. Got let go, in a sense. I didn't have a job after that for about 2-3 months until I found another job with my friends at Kmart Warehouse, and I was there for pretty much 2 years. From Kmart Warehouse, I probably did everything in terms of warehousing. Started off stacking pallets, started off learning to take pallets and stacking boxes. It was good because I had boys around me once again, so I didn't mind the work. The mine was obviously repetitive work, long hours, but I had the boys around me, so it was fun in a sense. I guess that's the main reason why people stay at their jobs, because they have good crew around them, they have good boys around them, and that's ultimately why I went to work every day as well. Not only to provide, but you have good people around you, and it's feeding you, it's feeding the family as well. A couple months down the line, I got a new role. I was loading boxes onto a conveyor all day, so pretty much a forklift driver would put it up here, chuck it onto a conveyor. That was kind of the moment where I was like, I need to be making a change here. So that was probably like 6 months in. I need to make a change here because I can't be doing this, take a toll on your body, also heat. And then you just see like 40-50 year olds coming in or leaving, because I was an Arvo crew, leaving the job like drenched, disordered, like anything. You could just see their faces. It's just like they're more disappointed. They look so disappointed in life to just kind of be walking out of the warehouse knowing they're clocking in, clocking out every single day. Right, so that was the kind of moment I realized, talking to one of the forklift drivers who was like 40-50 years old, and he was telling me that like he never has time for his family. He works Arvo crew, so when he comes home, the kids are asleep. When he wakes up, obviously he does late night shifts, so he wakes up a bit later than when the kids go to work or school and stuff. So that was the moment I realized I can't do this for the rest of my life. My experience overall, right, the work, there's definitely harder work out there, but it did take a toll on the body. I think I injured my forearm. I got x-rays and everything on my forearm. It was something here, because lifting boxes all day, something in this muscle right here, it like tore. Just lifting, obviously you do heavy boxes for 20 kgs, up to 20 kgs for hours and hours. It's going to get to you in a sense. So that was a pivotal moment for me to make a change. And honestly, just knowing I could have made a change, knowing that I had a future out there for myself and I could do something about it, was the main thing for me ultimately, right? So my experience overall is I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working my warehouse job until I stopped hanging around the right people, until I started to get more advice from the older people in the warehouse job. I started to learn more about what I could do to kind of leave my warehouse job, other ways, because the world's going digital nowadays, as you can see how much it's done for me. But yeah, honestly, my experience is like, if you want to work a warehouse job, by all means, just have a good crew around you. If warehousing isn't something for you, there's obviously other ways you can learn admin side of things for that. Even with admin, right, it's all digital. So how could you be on a computer and still make money and get paid by the value, not by your hour, in a sense, right? That's kind of where I look at things, is being paid by the hour. It's not being paid by the hour, but being paid by the value you can provide. So understand that. Understand how much value you are meant for this world. You're not worth $30 an hour. You're worth $100 an hour or $200 an hour. However much value you believe that you are, that's how much you should be providing to the game, and how much you can return it in the investment into yourself as well. So my best advice is find something that you can be paid by your value and not by the hour, once again, right? So once I figured that out, I was able to leave my job. I was able to generate over 6 figures. I was able to generate over 6 figures in 2024. I was able to provide for my family. I was able to travel the world. I was able to get new teeth. I was able to do a lot of things, but mainly just being able to support and put a roof over myself, my family, and everyone else that I look closely to. And that's the mission moving forward now, is just making sure that everyone's safe, everyone's provided for, and being paid by my value that I can provide to the game, and not the hour, in a sense, right? So I work in seconds, in minutes, and not by hours, get everything done and move forward from there. But that's pretty much my experience, my journey. I can touch base on little stories if you guys are interested in that. I guess talking about my story, stories throughout warehousing, if you guys want to look into that. But that's pretty much my little journey, broken down into simple categories. But yeah, that's me. Probably take her in the chat. If you guys are looking to get into the online space, just message me on Instagram. All the information and my free course will be in the bio below. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Love.